NewsTalk Breakfast with Ciara Kelly and Shane Coleman.
In association with AIR. Experience Ireland's fastest broadband speeds with new 5 gig fibre broadband from AIR. AIR for all.
This is NewsTalk.
John O'Connell, General Secretary of the Financial Services Union. Staff in AIB, which you represent, are not happy at being told they will now have to come to the office 3 days a week, or at least from January. Why are they unhappy?
I think, first of all, there was no clamour for this change, that people were working remotely and flexibly, and they had modelled their working pattern to suit their employer, but also to suit their own environment. And for that to be turned on its head in the way that it has, first of all, there was no engagement, no communication that was just landed at the start of this week, where from a situation where people had a flexibility in terms of how they worked, and their contributions were very, very clear because the bank is highly profitable. We now have a situation where the employer is saying it's, office only, no hubs, no branches allowed. We'll decide your base, we'll dictate the pattern, and non-compliance is not accepted.
Well,
using words
some
like
people
enforced
might say he who pays the piper calls the tune, and that it's not unreasonable to ask your employees to come to the office 3 out of 5 days.
I think it is unreasonable when you've had a consistent position enunciated to staff at numerous times that flexibility is the future, hybrid is part of that, and people built
This is hybrid, is it not?
It is, but it's a very strict version of hybrid. Hybrid and remote and in-office working are, part of everybody's working environment now. And for it to change in the way that it's changing, in the manner that it's changing. Like I said, there's no clamour for this change going to add.
Well, there's clearly clamour from management for it. They obviously feel they're not getting bang for their buck. They obviously feel workers can be more productive, can learn more, can learn more from each other if they're working together. Some would say that's not exactly revolutionary talk.
No, I think it's a retrograde step, to be honest with you, to go backwards in the manner that they're going back. Normally, what an employer would do in this situation is engage with their employees, engage with the trade union, and work through identifying why this requirement has appeared now, and work through solutions rather than come out, as I said, with absolute positions. And talking like, words like enforced and non-compliance will not be accepted. Like, that's not the language of listening to your employees or listening to your employees.
Other Wall Street banks have gone further. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they say we want you in 5 days a week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be using America as an example for anything at the moment. So I think the evidence is there that, this is largely a female workforce. Okay, sorry, if you
fine, I accepted the American line, but UK banks have done the same. They basically said we need you in 3 days a week. So it's not like AIB is acting totally unilaterally.
Well, they're acting outside the norm in Ireland, and the AIB are partners in a group called Women in Finance, who launched a report last week and said remote and flexible working is important for progressing women in the financial services sector. So the opposite applies if you start shutting it down, and this is what people feel like this is, because no consultation, completely out of the blue, people taking it back. We have over 3,000 members who have partaken in a survey. We've over 500 members registered for a members meeting today, and that's the level of anger out there in relation to how the bank has done this and what they're proposing, the lack of flexibility.
John O'Connell, General Secretary of the Financial Services Union, thank you indeed for talking to NewsTalk Breakfast this morning. Lots of people getting in touch in relation to this story, Jonathan.
Yeah, currently on my 2-hour commute, says this texter, was sold the dream of a 2-day in office and 3-day working from home when it took the role. Then it was moved to 3 days in the office. Vast majority of the company just ignored the instruction. Very few decent staff on the job market, so I would fear AIB could be cutting off their nose to spite their face if they have a mass exodus.
I work for a massive US tech company based in Dublin. We now have to come in 4 or 5 days. It used to be 1. Workers need to get over themselves. Office work is coming back, and let's be honest, it's better both for productivity and social connections. we all know it deep down. I think 3 days is a perfect balance.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think 3 days is bang on. 2 days from home, but then that's just me, and everyone's life is different.